The following program was produced by Cinema Milkshake.
And now, our feature presentation.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Ryan, and this is my podcast.
Cool.
It's about movies.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
Hey, I've seen several thousand of them, okay? I need to do something with all that useless knowledge banging around in my head.
Brother, you said it.
There are many different types of movies, and many different types of people who like them.
It's a crazy world. Someone ought to sell tickets. Sure, I'd buy one.
So, I've asked some of these beautiful people to recommend movies to me that I've never seen.
You gotta come take a look at this.
This hunt better be good!
And then they join me to talk about them.
Uh-oh!
Give you any idea what you're getting yourself into, Daddy-O?
Try me.
Thanks for the opportunity.
You got it.
Any genre, any decade, from anywhere in the world.
Now that's what I'm talking about!
So what have you got?
Now the fun begins.
Let's all go to the movie.
Will it kill me or thrill me? Kill me?
Thrill me.
Kill me?
Kill me?
Thrill me.
Kill me?
Thrill me.
Kill me?
Twist!
Are you not entertained?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kill Me or Thrill Me. This is the podcast where I invite people to recommend movies to me, and then they come on the show to discuss them with me. And we find out if it killed me or thrilled me, or in this case, made me maybe grab the box of tissue sitting next to me. My guest for today is someone I've known for quite a while now. Very big lover of film and has been an actor and director of theater since the 80s. She studied the theater arts at NYU and was a co-founder of Super Happy Fun Time Burlesque and the Bangarang Circus. And while I have completely forgotten what prompted it, she one time woke me up at 1 a.m. with a text message that just said, fuck, with at least 6 exclamation points.
Really?
Rachel Finan, welcome to the show.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, I don't remember what prompted it, but
I don't either.
It wasn't angry. You weren't mad at me.
No, I don't think I've ever been mad at you.
No, I know. You're one of the few people in town. I've never been mad at you either. That's wow. That's
well, you're
something.
also one of the few people in town. Actually, I've made people mad all over the country, so.
Wow, you got me beat. I pissed off China apparently, but
oh well, that's good. I would put that on my resume if I were you.
I know someone went there with a copy of my novel and they confiscated it at the airport, read parts of it, and said this is not allowed in our country. So I have that going for me that China banned my book, sort of. So yay.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, actually.
I guess. You know, and I rarely ever think of that, but when I do, I'm like, why don't I tell people that more often? But anyway, before we get into the show proper, I have a question for you.
Sure.
This is where we're going to so I need to know, and I want you to be completely honest with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But have you, Rachel Finan, ever accidentally eaten / swallowed a bug?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, awesome. One follow-up question. What happened?
Nothing.
No, I mean, how did it happen? Like, was it just sipping on some Sprite and a bee happened to be in it, or?
It wasn't that exciting. It was just sort of probably like a mosquito, or I was sleeping and a spider crawled into my mouth.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Oh, well, I've got you beat. I once was eating a bowl of Raisin Bran and looked down to see halfway through the bowl, mind you, it was crawling with ants. So
Ooh.
I ate a lot of ants.
You ate a bowl of ants.
Yeah. And I had 2 options at that point. I either freaked out
Mhm.
and it totally traumatized me and ruined my life. Or I could just accept that I had just eaten ants and gone on with my life.
Well, I think that there's this crazy misconception that insects are bad to eat, and
Right. They're not.
most cultures eat bugs, and
Right.
yeah, so ants would be the best part about it.
Yeah. I accepted my reality at that point, and just I didn't finish the bowl of cereal. Don't worry about that. But I moved on with my life because,
Heard.
you know,
Yeah, gotta keep going.
what are you going to do at that point? You're like,
Yeah,
I am now a
exactly.
human being that ate half a bowl of ants. I have to live with that.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing.
No, no. Okay, well, good. See, now we have even more in common besides our love of film, is we've both accidentally eaten bugs. I have actually eaten a couple bugs on purpose, but they were like chocolate coated.
Were you in prison?
No, I was not, but I was at a bring a bad food to pass around Christmas party.
Oh, gotcha.
I brought durian fruit ice cream is what I brought.
Oh,
I
I'm not opposed to durian. I love durian.
I know. I actually liked it, but everybody
Hmm.
else. And then somebody brought like salted mealworms or something, and I was like, oh, I'll try that. And it wasn't bad. A little gritty,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway.
I think it's the texture more
Yeah.
than the yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Or sometimes I think it's more like I'm eating the whole thing, like legs, brain, everything.
yeah,
Like when you slaughter a cow or a lamb or a deer, you get to pick and choose what you get to eat. But
right.
when you eat an insect, it's like everything.
Yeah, it's all
So,
going in there. And
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
that's the one thing that I have an issue with. But
yeah,
yeah.
the antennae are just
Yeah,
like
just the whole thing. Too
tickling the roof
much.
of your mouth.
Too much.
Yeah. Well, on that note, then, why don't you
Yeah.
take a moment to introduce yourself to the listeners, and then tell me the name of the movie
Sure,
you
sure.
suggested to me.
Uh, well, hi everybody. I'm Rachel Finan. I've been a student of theater arts for since the 80s. So my first role in theater was in a Neil Simon play called Fools.
Okay.
And the only reason why I got that role is because I broke my arm because I was doing gymnastics. So I
Oh.
so I was doing the gymnastics thing, and then I was like, well, fuck, I don't have anything else to do. It's okay to swear, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can I swear?
I mean, I did introduce you with a long fuck. So yeah, you're good. You're good.
And just ever since then, I've been a student of acting, theater, and oh, the one thing that I wanted to say is that one of my favorite TV shows ever is Mystery Science Theater 3000 because they really break down different parts of film, and I feel like that's kind of the way that I watch film is, you know, how do they uh, create these scenes and how is the light done and so with cameras and film the scripts and the actors and like how a filmmaker actually creates film, whether it's a piece of shit or whether it's the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Right.
So I feel like I come to film with a critical mind
Yeah.
whenever I watch it. And there's so much going on in my brain when I watch films, and whether it's a slow burn like the Florida Project, which has a great payoff, I think, or if it's a Marvel movie or something. It's just the way my brain processes the what I'm looking at is what I really like.
Right.
Especially as an actor. Also knowing that not everything is filmed in sequence.
Right.
You'll get a script and you have to pretend like something happened that you haven't experienced before, and you just have to sort of pretend
Yeah.
that the world has exploded, and then the next day it's the beginning of the world or whatever.
It's that emotional through line you have to make sure is consistent.
Exactly. And so that's something that I really liked about the Florida Project was it seemed like it was filmed in real time, following real people doing real things in a real world that we live in.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research on it, and I feel like that was the director's goal, was to film it in real time. So he just basically followed these kids around and let them do whatever they wanted to do
Yeah.
to some extent.
Got to lay down the law eventually.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to say with all actors, but with, because actors are basically just kids. And when you're directing them, you have to treat them like children. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not an actor, folks, but I have directed them. And
yeah.
they're much more talented than me. And I usually just cast them properly and get out of their way, which is my directorial mantra. It's just let them do what you asked them to do. Let them do what you hired them to do, you know? So yeah, you mentioned the Florida Project. That is the movie you picked for me. A little background on that. It was released in 2017, written and directed by a man by the name of Sean Baker. It was also co-written by someone named Chris Burgach. Co-written most of Sean Baker's movies, or quite a few of them. Sean Baker is a filmmaker I'm aware of, but had never really dove into his filmography.
Yeah.
I've seen, prior to this, I had seen one of his films from 2004 called Takeout, which was co-directed by, I'm not going to pronounce this person's name properly. Her name is Shi Ching Xiao, I'm guessing. She's a Taiwanese-born film producer and director who co-wrote that Takeout with him, and it's about a undocumented Chinese immigrant who has fallen behind on his debt payments and has until the end of the day to come up with the money. And it is an absolutely depressing film.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too surprised going into this one that it was going to be a similar sort of slice of life, warts and all approach to real people and the real reality in which they live.
Yeah.
He has made a number of films. All of them have been quite highly regarded. He just recently also won the Best Directing Oscar for Anora, which also won Best Picture. So he's coming up in the world. He's making a name for himself. And I don't know, for one reason or another, I just had not dove into any of his other work. And I actually watched Takeout without even knowing who he was or that he had anything to do with it. So that was a real going in cold movie. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Takeout quite a bit, which is weird to say for a movie as depressing as it is. But I think you and I have had conversations in the past about our somewhat emotionally masochistic tendencies to go to movies that we know are going to hurt us.
Yeah.
Now this movie stars the main actor most people will know is Willem Dafoe.
He was the ringer.
Yeah, I don't think I need to let everybody know about Willem Dafoe.
Right.
Beloved actor, highly talented, extremely talented man. I've never heard a bad word said about that fella.
Right.
We also have Caleb Landry Jones, who is also well known to some people. He's been in a number of films too. I think he was just recently in a movie, Dracula, the Luc Besson.
Oh yeah,
Dracula. Yeah, he played Dracula. So, but he was in like No Country for Old Men, The Social Network, Get Out.
Yeah,
Bunch of Twin Peaks even. So I think him and William Dafoe are probably the two most well-known actors in this.
Yeah, that's right, because the director Sean Baker, he found the lead actor um that plays the mom. Her name is Bria Bianate, I think, and
Yeah.
he found her on Instagram.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at her, and you did a much better job with that name than I probably would have. But she hasn't done a whole lot. But I don't know why that is.
Yeah, I think she's working on a few projects right now, but it's
Okay.
I don't think I'm not yeah, she's not like a person that's in the limelight
Right.
per se. Yeah. But she did a great job in that film.
Probably almost too good. But we'll get to that in a minute. The real star of this show, however, is a child actor named Brooklyn Prince.
Yeah.
And she plays a character in this called Mooney, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken.
Yep, it's Mooney.
She is, I will say without giving anything away, but she's definitely a find. She's definitely a very talented child actor. Probably one of the best I've ever seen.
Agreed. Yeah.
I had never seen her before, although I had seen her before, but wasn't aware of it. But she is in, she's in Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
From 2023.
Which is a great movie. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, Cocaine Bear is fun. It's a fun movie. The whole scene with the Depeche Mode needle drop is just great.
Yeah.
I loved that. But the Florida Project, I think, was kind of her big breakout.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And yeah, she's she plays young kid very well for being a young kid. But so yeah, that's kind of the background on the production side of this and the stars. The movie basically is a slice of life. Kind of takes place over several weeks during a summer in Florida, and it's basically a hotel run by William Dafoe's character, and there's lots of just freaks and geeks hanging out. Most of them poor. There's really no plot. There is, but not, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's sort of just watching how these people survive.
Yeah, absolutely. The only other actor actress I do want to mention is just because she has an awesome name, and she's an actor and dancer. Her name's Mela Murder.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know her last name.
Yeah, she plays a character named Ashley, who's best friends with the Bria Vinay character, who is the mom of Mooney, played by Brooklyn Prince. So
yeah,
they don't stay friends for long.
Nope.
So enough about that. Well, Rachel, I have another question for you. Why did you recommend this movie to me?
It's sort of one of those movies that I really had a deep emotional reaction to, that I can't just invite friends over to watch.
Right, yeah.
It's because I would call it like a slow burn, and I do like those movies that are kind of a slower burn, because I know that the payoff at the end is going to be worth the journey.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe that's it. I think that it seems very real, true to life. These characters are actual people. They're dealing with actual shit that happens to their life. And so at times it does feel like, how long are we going to watch these kids like spit on some lady in a swimming pool? But at the same time, it's like, I want to know what happens. And the one thing that I thought was interesting that when I was doing research about it years ago is that the director, he kind of took his inspiration from The Little Rascals.
He even thanks them in the end credits.
Yeah.
I sat through the whole end credits, and yeah, he thanks them. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I get it. I can kind of see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually going back and watching it again, this week, I was like, yeah, it really is like that. Like when I first watched it, that didn't come to my mind. I just thought it was this weird sort of picture of this life in Florida. And then when I was reading about it, because it really did hit me in a profound way, that the director got his inspiration from the Little Rascals.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Sort of this modern day fucked up methamphetamine, sex trafficking, weird thing that happens in Florida.
Yeah.
But I also looked at something that was kind of interesting. That the Florida Project, the name was I believe came from. Sorry, I have cat action here.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, no, there was some government program. I think it was through NASA or like Cape Canaveral or something down there that where they launch rocket ships, and I think that's where the name of it, the before they did it, that was what it was called. They just call it the Florida Project.
What I'm seeing on IMDb trivia is that the Florida Project was an early development name for Disney World.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, Disney World. Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's what I was thinking of like big things down there, but yeah, that makes more sense because of how the movie ends. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this the whole movie, because there's this constant juxtaposition of Disney World, the Magic Kingdom, and all that next to these really seedy, rundown places, and I feel like it was that was obviously intentional to show like all these tourists come down here to see this Magic Kingdom, but this is the reality of the people that live right next door. So I think that makes sense in that context, that it would he's sort of subverting that a little bit.
Yeah, and also I also found really intriguing the names of the hotels that they were staying at. They all had these like magical names and they were just this shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were several of them. Like, well, I'm the kind of person when traveling that will go into those places.
Oh yeah.
Like if your gift shop is just a big clown face,
Yeah.
like I'm going in there. I don't know what the rest of you are doing, but so yeah,
Yeah.
that was interesting, because even at one point they're like walking down a road called the Seven Dwarf Lane or something. Like there's
Yeah.
just all this
Magical fairyland that's filled with yeah, exactly.
So I've got to believe that was intentional, and that it was sort of like I said, it's look at what the privileged side of this neighborhood, and then directly across the street is
Yeah.
like you said, meth heads and sex workers, and which I don't have a problem with sex workers. I don't know. I feel I was gonna say I don't have a problem with meth heads, but that's probably not appropriate to say.
I guess it like as far as sex work goes, I just feel it's just there's a time and a place.
Right.
Yeah, and she's the mother in that movie just couldn't figure it out.
No. Which let me ask you about her. What did you feel of Haley, the mom played by whatever her name is?
Yeah, I have some a very soft spot for her. I feel like in some ways I think that she really did love her child and cared deeply for her, but then she also weaponized her, the
Yeah.
child.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't know, she's just like a person that's just up against all odds. Like there's nothing going for her. The system failed her. Uh, her family probably failed her. She's doing, like, I honestly feel like she's doing the best she can. I feel, and then to be fair, I feel like in the whole movie, all the characters are doing the best they can
Sure. Yeah.
in the situation that they're in. And it's not an experience that many of us have to go through, but I have luckily not had children, but I feel like I could see myself in that situation.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing that really hit home for me. I could see myself in Willem Dafoe's situation where, you're just this guy that basically, runs a hotel and does the maintenance and cares about these kids and is not a creep.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember there's that scene I've totally forgot in the movie where he chases out that pedophile.
Yeah, that was actually one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
Is him and that actor, because he's I just came here to get a soda pop, and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like, well, we got a soda machine over, and then the whole time he's like, William Dafoe is just like, he suspects him, but he's like, hey, did anybody ever tell you that drinking soda pop's not the best way to stay hydrated? And it was just, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, and he just puts the guy in a chokehold.
Yes, I know
like,
that
get
was
the fuck out of here, and it was great. That was a great scene. I enjoyed the hell out of that moment.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Most of his moments, William Dafoe is great in this movie. Like, I loved his interaction, because at times you're like, God, he hates these people, and then the next scene over, he's sharing a smoke with them and just like laughing, and it's like and we do get hints of the fact that maybe his marriage broke up, because Caleb Landry Jones, if I'm not mistaken, that was supposed to be his son, right? And
yeah,
his son shows up every once in a while to kind of help out around the hotel, but you could tell he just doesn't want to be there, and William Dafoe doesn't really know how to be a dad to him. So he's kind of got this surrogate family, like this found family of, freaks and weirdos and miscreants that drive him nuts, but he can't let him go. And I think I think you and I might know people like that we just can't let go, even though they drive us nuts. Being that we've worked in movies and theater. Well, God knows.
With that point being said, one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when they're moving that fucking refrigerator.
Oh yeah.
And he's like counterclockwise. Oh, okay, or clockwise, or okay, and that's when his son is just like, look, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And the dialogue, and I think that's one of the things that I like the most about the movie, is it's just so real. That would happen with me and my dad, or that would happen with me if I went to a fucking rundown, ramshackle hotel and my dad asked me to move a fucking refrigerator. I would be, it's just, and it's so perfect. And I think that's one of the things that I love about the movie, is like watching Willem Dafoe just be like, he could be that guy. There is that guy. He exists.
Yeah.
And Willem Dafoe, it's just like a happenstance of birth that Willem Dafoe is a famous actor, and there's some guy in Florida that just runs a hotel.
Right.
And with all those characters, like with the mom, she could have been Claire Danes, or just ended up on the streets. It's like the Prince and the Pauper.
Yeah.
You just don't know where you're going to end up in life, and you don't have a choice sometimes.
Right. I don't remember who said this, but it was it was somebody said it, obviously, and I'm paraphrasing here, but this person was talking about how we'll never know like how many Shakespeare's just ended up being janitors.
Right. Yeah.
Because they never had the and these people, and I don't mean to pick on janitors specifically, that's just what the quote said, but it's like, how many people out there are absolutely talented and brilliant, but just didn't get a shot. There's the the people that do get a shot and they go to the stratosphere. There's the people in the middle that have shots here and there, don't have shots here and there, and kind of make some stuff every once in a while. I'm not talking about myself specifically, but maybe. And then there's the people that just don't ever. And then one day you bump into them and they're like, they say something that just blows your mind, and you're like, why are you cleaning grease trap at McDonald's when you should be writing, and it's just, you feel that with some of these characters, like, had things broke a little bit different this way or that, some of these people could have, but I mean, that's that's an old truism. I mean, there are a lot of movies that deal with that kind of, subject matter. So, but yeah, I think, Willem Dafoe was just, he held that all together. And I think that's kind of why, with a cast of what is mostly, I would say, unknowns, or, Sean Baker prefers to call them first time actors. We would probably call them non-actors or amateur. Just, most of them are real people that, a little bit of acting here and there, or maybe they're a dancer and not an actor. And they, so I think when you do a huge cast of people that aren't really what you would call professional trained actors, you got to have someone like Willem Dafoe who can kind of
reel it all in.
Yeah. And, but he never, like, this is why I love Willem Dafoe, is I still think he's got to be one of the least vain actors to ever exist. Like, and I don't just mean, like, obviously he does not care what he looks like on screen. He's done some really weird, ugly roles, and God bless him for it. But the other thing I like about him is he never get the sense that he's trying to steal the scene from anybody.
Exactly.
He's there and he's in the moment with whoever he's working across.
Exactly.
And I think that's why he's a good, like, I don't know what you call it, like your focal point of the movie, or your North Star, with all these other weirdos can revolve around, because he's not going to steal your scene. He's not going to try to one up you, but he's going to be there as the solid, like, you can work off me. Whatever you give me, I'll throw it back. That's kind of been why I love him so much as an actor, but
that's why it was so, versus like what he did in The Lighthouse, which was like this insane maniac, versus the Florida Project, is that we get to see him in a reality where that person can 100% exist in both realities.
Yeah.
Those people exist. So, I've always been a huge fan, and he was just a bonus to that film. I think it could have been made without him, but he was definitely a hook for that
for
film.
Sure.
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily the kind of movie that needed that, but it's just sort of, I mean, well, maybe they needed a star to secure financing or something. I don't know, but you know what? If so, that you made the right choice, get him. I even said to my roommate while I was watching this, I'm like, why is it anytime I see Willem Dafoe in a role, I immediately buy it? He's that guy. Like, I know who he is. He's an actor. I should have difficulty, because you cannot mistake Willem Dafoe. But
that's true.
I'm just like immediate. I'm like, oh yeah, he's that guy. I buy it. Let's go. Let's go on this ride, because I don't need any other guideposts. He's that guy.
Yeah.
So
slightly, he was subtly amazing, and then, but honestly, the young girl in the movie, that played Mooney. Okay, so this is another reason why I liked the movie so much, was I went to New York University. I studied theater, I studied acting, and that's all I've ever wanted to do, kind of thing. And then I watched this goddamn film and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This, like, what, 6, 7-year-old little girl did a better job of acting than I could ever do. And I was like, I probably won't act anymore.
No. No, I mean, I get it. I get it. Trust me.
And then, but then on the same page is what after watching the film for the first time, I was thinking, how did that director get that type of performance from such a young person?
Yeah, I was so impressed, and you had kind of prepped me, because you're actually the first guest that has ever called me immediately after suggesting a movie. And not only did you immediately regret your decision because you said you had to sit through it again, um, you were definitely raving about the what's Mooney, the
Mm.
actress. I forget her name all of a sudden. I'm old.
Um, her name
But
is Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah.
Brooklyn Price. Mm.
So yeah, you definitely uh let it be known that I was that what I was in for, as far as,
Hmm.
because yeah, you were like, I don't ever want to act again, Ryan. I suck, and because of this little girl. And I'm like, Rachel, come on. Now I watch it and I'm like, yeah, you might as well. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
No, I would never say that. You're a great actress. I loved working with you one time on a movie that, thanks to a couple of unscrupulous scumbags, I am not legally allowed to talk about, but we won't worry about that right now. That's a whole other podcast. But I get it. Like, I remember reading a book one time by a 16-year-old. Oh, it was Clive Barker. He in his biography, they reprinted one of the stories he wrote when he was 11, and I'm like, God damn it, that's better than anything I will ever write as a teenager or adult. And like,
And you go to school, and you get
yeah,
training, and
yeah,
and it's never
like,
going to be as good. Yeah.
you son of a bitch. Like, how did you do that at age 11?
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it, but don't give up on your dream, Rachel. Jesus. Okay, that's one to grow on. So let me ask you this. What, I mean, as far as the whole cast of kids,
Mm.
did you think they were all really natural and good, or do you think she was the standout, or do you think just as a whole that the kids in this felt very authentic and relaxed on camera?
Yeah, I do. I think for the most part, I feel like they were very relaxed. I think that they had to have certain like plot points that they had to move forward, to get the story moving, whatever the story is.
Yeah.
And but I thought that I think that from what I've heard about that film is he just Sean Baker just let them talk, and
Yeah.
and kind of like The Office or a show like that, where or like a Best in Show or something, where the director's like, hey, we just need to get to this point. At some point, we need to turn the story. And then he just filmed them roaming around, following them around. And I think they lost focus that there was a camera or a film crew even there.
Yeah.
And I think that was really great, especially when it got to those moments where like Brooklyn was, or Mooney was in the bathtub while her mother was taking clients and things like that, or just those long far shots where they were just like little tiny people on a screen, like almost like somebody was filming them from across the street on a cell phone. And then I did learn that that very last scene where they go to Disneyland
Mm-hmm.
was actually shot on a cell phone, because Disney is super weird about
Yeah.
filming inside of their property. So they just followed these two little girls on a camera, probably with like an iPhone
Yeah.
stick thing, and it's all shaky and weird, and it yeah, it's too much for me. Like my heart just breaks because supposedly, their reality is right next to this huge fantasy.
Yeah,
And um and watching those two girls run away to this perceived ideal of what life could be like while their mother is getting arrested for prostitution and child neglect. It's just and that girl when she comes to the door and knocks on the door and asks her friend for help and they just take their hands and run
yeah.
to Disneyland. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Spoiler alerts, by the way,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
don't even care if it's a spoiler alert. Like
yeah,
it'll still hit you hard if you watch it or not, you know.
yeah,
You have to sit, and that's what I noticed. The other thing about the movie is like you got to sit through that day to day to day reality of each of those characters to realize why the end hits so hard.
yeah. Well, I want to ask you about that ending. Now, do you think that ending was a sort of fantasy escape, or do you think they literally ran off?
I definitely think it was a fantasy escape.
Okay,
100, yeah.
I did too. I thought it was because I thought they were probably running to that tree that they were at earlier, where she's like, "This is my favorite tree," where they're having lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought that was definitely a like little kid thing. Like, well, we're not
Hmm.
really going there, but let's pretend this woods is Disneyland, and they ran off. And because it definitely, you can tell it kind of changes the camera that they're using and
Right.
goes to a more cell phone looking.
Yeah, definitely. It literally is a cell phone.
Yeah. And so
Hmm.
I definitely, that was my clue that like, okay, this is a fantasy escape.
Yeah.
They're not really going there. And because I guess some people have debated that online. And
Well, I do think that the little that the Mooney ran away from that scene. Like she somehow managed to run away and connect with her friend. I think that part is real.
oh yeah,
and
for sure.
and then yeah, they run off into what they would appreciate, feel like their ideal life would be as what 9-year-olds.
Yeah,
And then but the reality is that girl is going into child protective services and she's going to go into the system and live in foster care and her mother might be in jail for a while and
yeah,
that's the reality that she has to deal with. But, that escape mentally for her at the time with her best friend is, she was a scoundrel like the entire movie. Um, and her friend, and she lost friends at such a young age,
yeah,
because of the actions of her mother, or because of what her mother was teaching her. Like if you look at even when like they're eating ice cream together, it's sort of a precursor to, yeah, once she gets older, she's going to be sharing everything together, with
yeah,
whoever, drugs, sex, whatever it is. It's like
yeah.
she's just on the path to uh, just following in her mother's footsteps, which, it's not great.
No.
It's just that sort of pattern of behavior that happens over and over. And it's not necessarily criminal, but it's not the best way for someone to get by in life. But also, it's like, how the fuck do you get out of that shit?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's and I think that's what the movie does a good job of, um in terms of creating empathy for the for a lot of these people as opposed to sympathy, because I would argue there's, especially in the case of the mother, there's very little sympathy for her, coming from me, while I was watching the movie. But I was like, well, this is a good lesson in empathy, because this is, she probably doesn't, like you said earlier, we don't know a lot of her past, but I'm sure she's been through some shit, and she's learned to be defensive as
Mm,
a coping mechanism,
mm,
because she's probably known no other way. And then you can see it with her daughter, like when she's, they're yelling at that hotel manager, like, we
yeah.
got to stay here for a day, so because if we stay too long at this other hotel, then they have to claim we've established residency and we can't
Right.
allow that legally. So go stay at this other hotel for a day and then come back. And while she's yelling at the owners of the other hotel, her daughter's sitting there going, "Yeah, lady, come on,
Right.
lady, cut us a break." And it's like, Jesus, you're basically molding your
Hmm.
daughter into this belligerent sociopath.
Hmm.
Um, so, but I don't want to get too far ahead on that. At least in terms of my opinion. But yeah, I was quite taken with how the sense of empathy that the movie strives to create.
Yeah.
Sean Baker has come under fire a little bit from what I've read is he kind of comes from a place of privilege and tends to make movies about people that don't,
Mm.
and some people have accused him of kind of exploiting not these people but the characters and their poverty for his his art. And he definitely appears to be very obsessed with portraying sex workers in movies. And there are people that have taken issue with that. And but then on the flip side, there's just as many people that feel he does have a real sense of empathy for these characters. And whether he comes from a place of privilege or not, he still does care and want you to not necessarily sympathize with them, but see life through their eyes. I mean, I guess what I'm wondering is how would you feel? How do you feel on that? Did you ever get a sense that this was exploiting poverty, so to speak, or do you feel that he definitely? I mean, you don't know the guy, so I know you don't know what's going on in his head. But Did you feel a sense of authentic empathy with the characters, or
Yeah, I really did. I really did. I feel like, as far as people of privilege, or I guess you mean like money, they have money or their family has money.
I don't think he comes from insane wealth, but he definitely didn't come from, living in a hotel. you know,
Yeah, I think that sometimes people can use their power for good. If he has,
sure,
if he actually came from that place of poverty, that film would never be made.
right,
So it's sort of his observation of what's happening out there. I feel like for someone to that has lived that type of lifestyle wouldn't argue with
yeah.
that movie.
I think more of it just comes in people thinking like, well, are you really the one to be commenting on this? And but whatever. I tend to agree with you. I think that just because a person comes from a certain lifestyle doesn't mean their observations are invalid. I get to me it would always comes down to, well, what's your approach? If you're observing, this is kind of a fly on the wall movie in a
Hmm.
way, and I
Yeah.
think that's probably better than getting up on a pulpit and proselytizing like with a
Right.
message movie. This
Right.
movie, this movie lets the audience decide for themselves about things. There's never a moment where William Dafoe turns to the camera and says, "Folks, don't do drugs, stay in school."
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no messaging, which I appreciate. I get tired of. I'll always take an ambiguous, amoral, just what do you call objective approach to a story over a
Mhm.
this side or that side.
Well, that's one of the other things that I liked about the movie is that there are times where you feel like, oh, extreme empathy, or you're like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't, so it's just that watching people, humans be humans in whatever situation that is presented to them, and how that they can do the daily grind, the daily hustle, whatever it is. I think there's a scene where the mom and the daughter go to buy perfume and then hustle it on the street.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing where she uses her daughter as sort of a weapon.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at me. I'm destitute and I have this baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's just, you're like, well, that's kind of not cool. But at the same time, then you see the mother showing her daughter extreme love and extreme care.
Yeah.
So they flip back and forth. And like Willem Dafoe's character does that too, where he's just like, you people that are horrible, terrible people, and I don't want to be around you, but I will protect you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah, it's just it just seems just.
You're my horrible people.
Yeah.
It's like when you have that friend that's an asshole and then other people call him an asshole and you're like, no, you don't get to call him an asshole. He's my asshole.
Yeah, it's like how you defend your brother or your sister.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Like, no. That's my job. You shut up.
I can call him a dick, but you can't.
You're right. Yeah. That's like me and my friend Rick have been that way our whole lives. It's like, no, you don't get to diss him in front of me. I'll do it, but shut the fuck up. You don't.
Yeah, exactly.
You're encroaching on my territory. Hi, Rick.
But I also thought that it was the part of one of the things was like how Willem Dafoe had to he's kind of like this weird in the middle place where he does care about the people, but at the same time, it's like there is that scene that where the kids are sitting in the lobby of the hotel and he's just watching them.
Yeah.
And they're eating ice cream, and as soon as the one rule was you can't spill anything on the ground.
Yeah.
And as eventually some big dollop of ice cream falls on the ground and he's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I fucking told you that you can't spill anything on the ground. So he's like this weird, like sort of tough love, like really. And I feel that way. I felt that way about the mother and also the mother of the boy, Scooter or Scooty, yeah. And she was just like, she reached a point where she's like, we're not doing this anymore. And
Yeah.
you can empathize with all of these people in every single situation.
Yeah.
It's that I think is what is kind of wild about that film is you're like, oh yeah, I could see why he would do that. Or yeah, I could see why she would do that. And yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it makes oddly sense. I don't know.
It's like these are things I wouldn't personally do, but given the circumstances this character's facing, that makes sense that they would do that, even if it drove me nuts watching them do it. I get that way a lot nowadays with I'm in my 50s now. So whenever I watch a movie about like people in their 20s making really bad choices, I'm like, no, I can't watch these people do this. It's stupid. And then I sit there and go, wait a minute. I was stupid. I did stupid shit.
Right.
Just calm down, Ryan. You're only being asked to empathize, not respect them.
Right.
So yeah, I get caught doing that all the time where people are like, oh, like you were never like that. And I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. I did once pack up my whole life and move down south for a woman. Like, why did I do that? Like, I shouldn't have done that. So
yeah. So that's what I think. That's one of the reasons I liked the movie so much is because you get to see all the sides of it. You don't get just to see like like Meg Ryan being awesome all the time. You get to see this mother at her best and at her worst, or at the best that she can be, and her absolute like shittiest that she can be. So and I think that happens with almost every character. I think maybe Willem Dafoe keeps it together in the middle like the best, but he struggles with it because, like you said, the relationship that he has with, like, why is he there in the first? Like, he probably just works there and has a free place to live.
Oh, sure, yeah. Like he makes a living, but he's also got like kind of probably a free place to stay, and he never leaves. So it's like he probably is just one of those people that at this point in his life, this is my life. This is where I'm going to stay. This is what I've got to do. And you know what? I'm fine with that. Like, this kind of feels like he's just resigned to, this is his life now. So yeah, in a way, these are his people. This is his found tribe or found family. And like, I love, like, there's two moments that show a lot about his character. Cause you were just talking about that scene with the ice cream. And not only that, throughout the movie, this little girl is constantly like making havoc that he has to deal with. And he's so frustrated with it. But then at one point, the kids are out playing hide and seek.
Right.
A few of them run into his office and he's like, oh, yeah, fine. God damn it. And he lets them hide under his desk.
Right.
And then the little boy comes in and he just like points like, yeah, they're there. So it's like, he doesn't hate them. He's having fun. But then the very next scene, he's like, oh, I'm going to get you, you little bitch. And, he never says that, but you know what I mean? He's like, don't drop that ice cream. I swear to fucking God, you get out of here, which I thought was great. And then there's another scene like that where there's this woman sunbathing topless
right
at the bar or at the pool. And he's like, how many times do I have to tell you? And he's like, just cover up. And she's like, no. And she's like, oh, this pervert's touching my tits. And
right.
And he's not, but he's just like, and then like the next day you see them sitting next to each other, sharing a cigarette and laughing.
Exactly.
Those were the little, like, you're like, okay, he obviously doesn't, it's not like, because especially at the end, he helps the Child Protective Service by trying to distract Mooney.
Yeah.
But yet then when the cops and everything are like, nope, come on, time to pack a bag, he just goes out back and has a cigarette because he's like, this is the point where I just can't be involved anymore.
Yeah, or he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and you could tell he's sad and all that, but at the
maybe
same time,
relieved.
Yeah, if you were me, yeah, but I just liked that, he would go he would cross the line a little bit and help you out.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at a certain point, he knew his limits.
Right.
And I really respected that out of that character, and that those choices he made, I thought were, and that's between him and the script and the Sean Baker presenting the character that way, I thought that was a really nice touch with him doing that. And I don't know, I loved that whole scene with because then she finally covers up, and then he's like, you see that sign? No booze. I'm not drinking. When she, it was just all this like, at first you're like, God, why is he putting up with this? And then by the end of the movie, you're like, oh, that's probably the highlight of his day, is having to, chastise this woman about sunbathing topless, oh, here we go again, kind of thing. And of course, I love the scene with the birds. Just Willem Dafoe talking to birds.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. I hope he ad-libbed all that. Like, I hope that was just, oh, look, there's birds, go film. And they just went. Yeah, I can ad-lib with birds. I'm Willem Dafoe.
I also wonder sometimes about movies like this, movies that are mostly improvised, is how do they even pitch this to a company that's going to give them money? They're like, oh yeah, we're just going to film some kids walking around in Florida, and then shit happens, and then the studio's like, yeah, here's $1 million, just go do that. Right.
Yeah, I don't know, really. I didn't really look too much into that. I'm guessing that by the time he made this movie, he had directed a couple other films and was probably known well enough to, like, I'm sure he knew how to line up some financiers, and because his other movies had distribution, it was probably somewhere along that, I'm guessing that. I don't know the budget on this movie, but and it's A24 distributed it, so I don't know, I can't imagine a big studio coming to him and saying, here's $1 million, but I can imagine A24 saying, well, if you can raise some money from other sources, we'll chip in the rest of it. And, which is often what happens once a up and coming indie filmmaker starts to get well known, that kind of gets your foot in the door a little bit.
Yeah, because I think about movies like Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like this,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm like, and why do I like this? And it's just her driving and then going into a black liquid. So I'm just like, how do I write that? How do I write that screenplay?
Yeah. Why am I hauling laundry around all day for work when I can?
Yeah.
I've got fucked up ideas like that. Where's my money? For every Sean Baker or, Quentin Tarantino or Kevin Smith or whatever that makes it, there's probably 40 or 50 other just as talented filmmakers that just didn't get the lucky break.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will tell you. I mean, I've talked to some directors that got their break and they're like, dude, I was just lucky. The right person saw it at the right festival. And, and we've been to festivals. We've seen all the movies there. And it's like, yeah, sometimes some masterpieces are just lying on someone's hard drive or in their living room that just didn't get seen by the right people, or it did. And then unscrupulous assholes come along and ruin it for everybody. And, it's a shitty business, Rachel. I don't know why I ever wanted to pursue a career in it.
I do have one fun fact.
Okay, yeah, good.
The director, Sean Baker, and I were at NYU at the same time.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we were the same age and at NYU at the same time. He was in film school and I was in the theater program.
So you see what I mean? Two strangers crossing in the night.
Isn't that wild? Yeah.
You could have, maybe somebody just didn't tell you at one point he was auditioning for a movie and you could have see what I mean?
Yeah. Or I could have done a stupid film, student film project with him at some point.
Right.
Because the film students, I did film a lot of film at NYU with film students as an actor, and he could have been one of them, but he wasn't. As far as I know, I don't remember. Also, at the same time, I was going to school with Sarah Silverman, and we were buds, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Sarah and I were at NYU together with Sean Baker, and but yeah, I went to Sarah's apartment a bunch of times. We rode the subway to class all the time together. And
all right, well, I think we're at the point now where you can ask me the question.
Did I kill you or did I thrill you?
Oh, I'm always fascinated with the way my guests answer or ask that question. Sometimes it's just downright mean. But that was fun. Okay.
I always have like a sassy thing going.
You do. You text people at 1 a.m. with "fuck." I think it was because, if I'm remembering correctly, you used to do that to me when we were working on the movie together, and I would be like, "Oh, Rachel, don't forget we have rehearsal this Friday," and you'd be like, "Fuck," just to mess with me. And I would laugh. Like, I didn't wake up angry. I just went, God damn it, and went back to sleep. Oh, that's that Rachel. No, I love it. So did Thrill Me or Kill Me, or Kill Me or Thrill Me? I sometimes forget the order. You definitely did not kill me. I did enjoy this movie, quite a bit. I do have some problems with it, but this is only my first time seeing it, and I think some of my problems with it might just be my unfamiliarity with Sean Baker's work. It's one of those things where sometimes you might be exposed to someone's music or their films or their books, in that first experience, you don't quite get it just yet where they're coming from. But then the more you absorb, you're like, oh, I see it now. And that might just be the case with me and Sean Baker. Because while I had seen that other movie before, that one was a lot more just focused on one guy. And he was struggling for money. And I think it was just this one had a little bit more of a wider, I don't want to say scope, but a few more characters than that one did. So, and it was one of his first. So this is obviously later in his career. So I imagine it's one of those things. If I do watch more of his movies, I might start to see more of the themes and motifs that he uses. And some of my issues with this movie might be explained a little, or you know what I mean? Put in more context. I'll just get a couple of the things I didn't like out of the way first. Because overall I did like this movie. I did not cry. But it was sad. It was very sad. But we'll get to that in a minute. The only thing that, and this is on me, okay, this isn't really the movie's fault, but I was so mad at the mom through this whole thing. I just found her insufferable. Like, it's probably because I've known people like that in real life and may have actually dated one. That I was just like, you are a goddamn sociopath and something needs to be done with you, because you are like going to turn this poor little girl into a clone of you. And we can't have that. Because I'm not a kid person. I don't have kids of my own. I'm definitely a pet dad. I am an uncle, and I'm fine with being an uncle because I can go and get the kids riled up and noisy and then leave.
Right.
And the parents can deal with it, because there were parts of this where I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I don't have kids. But that's me. That's on me, not the movie. And yeah, the mom drove me nuts to the point where I don't even know what. The last decade of life in America has robbed a few chunks of my soul. So I might be a little bit jaded, but when it got to the end, my heart absolutely ached and went out for that little girl. But part of me felt relief that she was going to get a break from her mom. Yeah. I know that's so terrible to say that, but I mean, after she beat up her ex-best friend.
Right. That was a tough scene.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not one to judge. I'm really not. But you need help. And I want you to get the help you need, and I want your daughter to get away from you for a little while. Like, I'm saying this as someone who does not have kids, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I did feel a little bit of relief, and I thought it was wonderful that her and her friend dashed off into their little. Although, as an adult, I'm also sitting there going, "Oh my God, please don't let them get hit by a car. Like, is somebody following them? I mean, is Willem Dafoe running after them? Like, I want them to have their little moment, but at the same time, I hope there's an adult somewhere because the whole time I'm sitting there like, oh my God, they're going to dart out in front of traffic. They're going to, but that's me just being like trying to impose practical reality on what is ultimately a sort of magic realist fantasy sequence. So that's really it though. Like I think the one of the biggest things in terms of the mom though, because I mean, I'm kind of joking, but I think I needed a little bit more to know her story. Like, why was she that way? Like, I'm not dumb. I can put the context clues together. But at the same time, I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, you're just making everything worse. And you're not as cool as you think you are. You're not proving a point to anybody. And I guess in order for me I was never going to sympathize with her, but I could empathize to a certain extent. But at the same time, I just don't feel like I had enough to go on as to why she was like that.
Sure.
And I guess people could argue that, well, Ryan, that's not the point of the movie, and this may be a Sean Baker thing. I'm fine with that. This could all just be on me. It didn't really take away from me enjoying the movie, if enjoying is the right word to use for this movie.
Right. It's not a fun movie.
No. But yeah, I guess ultimately what I would say is that overall I did like it. I thought it was very well made. The kids were fantastic. Like unbelievable. You're right. That little girl she's a find. Like I hope she continues to develop her talent. Although if she does want to just walk away from movie making, I would respect that too. She's wonderful. She's absolutely steals the show whenever Willem Dafoe's not in it, because otherwise Willem Dafoe would steal the show. But I loved all the little character moments. Yeah, I just liked it. Like I really liked it. In terms of my thrill me scale, I wouldn't say it was like a category 6 hurricane level of thrill me.
Right.
But it was definitely like one of those 3-hour long midsummer Michigan tornado warnings kind of thrill me, where it could happen, but I'm not worried. It's right in there. That's the sweet spot of like thrills, as opposed to I'm not going to get hurt. So I don't know what that metaphor means. I just made it up off the top of my head, but probably because we had a thunderstorm the other night. I don't know. Don't ask me, Rachel. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm terrible at it. But yeah, so thank you. This was, I always like being not forced, but that's the wrong word, but I do like being put in a situation where I have to empathize with a walk of life and a group of characters whose lives I will never probably experience, that I have no former knowledge of, or if I do have former knowledge of it, I never thought to look at it as closely as this. And that was good. It was enlightening. And I like when a movie can do that to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was definitely depressing as hell.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm hoping Mooney eventually has a great life and works as a Disneyland or Disney World Mickey or one of the princesses. I hope she, grows up to work and does something she really, loves with her life.
To go along with what you're saying is it's just like we just kind of zoomed in on a hotel in Florida and this is what was happening.
Yeah.
That's kind of, like we can Google, search the entire world and find some story. So we don't know, like you said, like we don't know the mother's backstory. We don't need to.
True. Yeah.
You can draw your own conclusions or not, or just be like, okay, this is what life is like, and that is what it is. It's just like we're gonna zoom in onto some fucking downbeat hotel in Orlando and just look at it.
Yeah. And I appreciate, I totally do. I think it's, there's just parts of me, and they're probably like the writer parts in me where I'm like, oh, I could have used more backstory, or I could, so like I said, usually when I have, things I don't like about a movie, I would say 9 out of 10 times it's on me and not really the fault of the movie. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. I would definitely tell people to watch this and don't listen to me. Draw your own conclusions about it. Just because I thought the mom was a maniac doesn't mean other people wouldn't be able to relate to her. And I think that's fantastic. I just, I just was mad at her through the whole thing. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's totally fine.
I still appreciated having to walk a mile in her shoes.
Right. Yeah.
That's good for people.
Yeah.
One of my guiding principles on this show, just to spite Elon Musk, is that I want to encourage empathy. And this whole show is just a big suck it to Elon Musk and his woke mind virus bullshit. So I'm just kidding, but that's a fun part of it. So yeah, this movie, just some more context for any viewers that may not have seen this. Pretty big hit among the indie crowd and on the awards circuit.
Yeah.
This was, well, I'll give you this is the stat stuff, but if you go to some of the reviewer aggregate sites, Letterboxd is the one I prefer, and that one's this is rated at a 4.1 out of 5, so that's not too shabby. IMDb has it at a 7.6 out of 10. And Rotten Tomatoes, which is probably the one most people that care go to this stuff. I don't really care about this stuff, but I just think it's good context. It sets at a 96% with the critics.
Oh, wow.
And an 81% with the audience. So this is, you weren't the only one that liked this movie, Rachel, or liked in quotes, because this is a miserable.
Yeah, like I'm not going to be watching The Deer Hunter again anytime soon.
Right. You don't go up to people and go, you know what? We need to have a night where we all sit around and watch Dancer in the Dark.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna put you in a mood. So as far as major awards, Willem Dafoe was nominated Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars and the Golden Globes for this. He did not win.
Okay.
But he was nominated. That man has never won an Oscar, and I think that is a crime. Like, seriously, ever since Platoon, like, what the fuck?
I know, right?
How have you not given this man an Oscar?
I know.
Well, someday. Now, my other two favorite awards, this means nothing to most people, but I just think these are fun awards. This movie was nominated. No, it won. I'm sorry. It won for Best Intergenerational Film at the AARP Movies for Grown-Ups Awards.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either, but I have an AARP card now, so
oh God.
Now that I know there's a Movies for Grown-Ups Awards, and this is my other favorite one, the Location Manager Guild International Awards nominated this for Outstanding Locations.
I agree.
Did you know there was a Location Manager Guild?
I did not. But I do have to say that the location with that purple backdrop and all the different backdrops and all the colors that you would think about Florida. It really came through. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I also read, in terms of at least as far as locations and production goes, is there's this whole thing running through the movie where they see these helicopters taking off. They had to work those into the movie because they couldn't afford to pay the people to not do the helicopter tours. They worked it into the movie. Yeah.
So they just whenever randomly. That's awesome.
There you go, folks. That's one of the things you learn on independent movies, that if some sort of like weird thing is going on around you that adds to your production value, use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've done that a million times. I once used the carcass of a dead deer in a zombie movie. Poor Marcy. I'm so sorry.
Yes. I think that David Lynch did that when he found an ear in the
Yeah, right. He found an ear and wrote that whole movie around that ear. Like, God damn it! I found an ear.
I need to write a movie.
Yeah. What am I going to do with this ear? Anybody, an ear? Tell me what to do with this ear. Oh, there's a duck. We got to do something with this duck. Oh, I'm sorry.
But no,
I'll go into my David Lynch.
Yeah, well, you can go deep into that one.
Oh yeah, I have. Usually to the chagrin of those around me.
Right.
My go-to is don't ever get me drunk and talk about Train Spotting, because I will do all the dialogue in the voices. And
nice.
It's obnoxious. So sorry if you've ever experienced. I don't drink anymore, but I've switched to edibles in my middle age. But I'm not as obnoxious on those. I mean, you've probably seen me drunk before, so you can probably attest. Although you did say at the beginning of the show you've never been mad at me, so that's good. Then I never annoyed you enough to piss you off.
True.
But yeah, so god damn, this was definitely an emotional roller coaster movie that at times I was laughing and I didn't know if I should be, but I was. It's actually the one part I laughed out fucking loud was when Willem Dafoe notices that the creeper old man approaching the kids, but he's up on a ladder painting.
Yeah,
and he drops
the
the paint, and you just hear a guy go, "What the fuck, man?" Because it splattered all over him. I don't know why, but that whole scene killed me. I love that little throwaway shit that's just like, that didn't need to be there, but I'm so glad it was. And what I really appreciate about this is that I've had a lot of millennials on this show lately, and they've been giving me, some feel-good millennial comedies. And I needed to bring me down is what I needed. I needed to come back down to earth after Mighty Ducks 2 and Mean Girls and, get back to my roots of misery and despair.
Yes, so, I love that.
Thank you, Rachel, for
I'll take you down a notch, no problem.
Yeah. Injecting some good old fashioned Gen X hopelessness into this podcast.
Yeah. Anytime.
All right. Yeah, no, thank you. You absolutely are more than welcome to come back anytime. I do know you threw some other titles at me that I have not seen, so some of those I definitely would like to see. So we'll have to get you back on here at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
It could maybe it'll be more depressing than this, or maybe not. But I do want to. I don't do this often, but I have done it a couple times with guests. Is I want to recommend a movie to you.
Okay.
And then if you ever come back to the show, maybe we can discuss it. You are under no obligation to watch this film.
Oh, I'll definitely watch it.
All I'm going to tell you about this movie is that I personally think it's even way more of a gut punch than this movie was.
Okay.
The movie I'm recommending to you is from 2002 by Lukas Moodysson. He is a Swedish filmmaker, and it's called Lilja Forever.
Okay.
And it's spelled Lilya 4-ever, EVER. That's the American translation.
Okay.
I thought of it while watching this movie, although I think Lilja Forever definitely goes darker. I don't really want to spoil anything for you.
Okay.
But I'll just warn you ahead of time. It deals with human trafficking.
Okay.
It is absolutely devastating.
Okay.
You're probably going to hate me after watching it. In fact, that would be a perfect time for you to once again text me at 1 a.m.
and say fuck.
All caps fuck with 6 or 7 exclamation points. And
okay.
I will have deserved it.
Okay.
So I look forward to that text.
Okay.
But no, again, thank you. We'll have to get you back sometime. So as we wind things down, why don't you let everybody know where they can find your stuff? If you have stuff to promote, or what if they see you in the street, should they avoid you? Should they say hi? Tell the people what you want them to know.
Yeah, actually, I'm doing a show at Green Frog Studio on May 2nd of 2026. I'm doing a Buto dance piece, and then after me is going to be a singer named Dee Dee, and she's just brilliant. She's a local artist here. I think she lives in Lansing. And but yeah, I'm still doing things. I work at the MAC makeup counter at Macy's, so if anyone wants their makeup done, I can do that too. And yeah, and just I'm always doing stuff in the community, so they can find me at Rachel Finan on Facebook, or Rachel Butoh, Butoh. on Instagram.
And I highly recommend you do that because I can't think of anything Rachel does that isn't cool. So go for it. Go see. You played Jesus once on stage, didn't you?
I did, yes, Lady Jesus, and I've done Jesus in a few different forms. I've done what I call a Charles Manson Jesus, and then I've done the golden white Jesus, the surfer Jesus.
And I still love your you do a Mommy Dearest burlesque act and a Prince Purple Rain.
That's true.
Folks, if you ever get the chance to see those,
I've done them both in the same show.
Yeah,
where I went from Joan Crawford to Jesus to Prince.
Right. See, these are the kind of guests I get, folks. Multi-talented, multifaceted blasphemers and freaks.
Well, I appreciate that.
No, you're wonderful. I've always respected and admired your talent. And
thanks, and same to you.
Oh, thank you. But I hope to see you someday in the wild, maybe at Aldi or something, where we occasionally bump into each other.
Wait, didn't we do that? We actually
we
did that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, it happens here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, it's a small town.
Shopping. Yeah, it's a small town. So, thanks again for appearing. And thanks everybody for listening. If you enjoyed this program, please consider giving it a review here on Spotify or wherever you happen to be listening. Give us a star rating. Leave some comments, questions, theories, criticisms, whatever. We're game for it all. We're friendly people. We don't bite. And if you happen to like movie podcasts, a few others you can check out are the Gentleman's Guide to Midnight Cinema, Night of the Living Podcast, Watch Skip Plus, What Went Wrong, and if you like all things Star Wars, check out my buddies over at Blast Point. And my personal favorite of them all is Not a Bomb. So those are some other shows you can check out. You should check out. So until next time, folks,
If you enjoyed this program, you should totally follow it online.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're talking.
So where are you?
Go to Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and YouTube.
Cool.
And search for Cinema Milkshake.
Do it. Yeah, we'll give it a whirl. Why not?
And
Like, follow, share, and leave feedback.
You tell the world.
You certainly don't have to, but it would be a whole lot cooler if you did.
Believe that shit.
Word. Oh, that's good.
Until next time, don't let the bastards grind you down.
Listen, don't get prancy with me, kiddo.
Keep watching movies.
Dude, that movie was fucking sweet. Ain't bet your fucking ass it was.
And, most importantly, dear listeners,
What's up?
enjoy every milkshake.
I feel like something incredible is really gonna happen here.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
I'm disgusted and repulsed, and I can't look away.
what is this? Some kind of a joke?
Some sort, yes.
Bravo!
You're mocking me, aren't you?
How dare you?
Do you know anything about the art of film production?
Well, I like to think so.
Direction, the acting, the storyline. That shit was bad.
Wow.
Wow. That was fucking trippy.
Yeah, boy.
What did you think?
I can't talk about it anymore. It's giving me a headache.
Why don't you knock it off with them negative waves?
That's part of your problem, you know. You haven't seen enough movies. All of life's riddles are answered in the movies.
I had enough. I give up. I want to go home.
You eat guts.
Yeah. I like them.